Other types of equations.
One more question. How do you put the equal sign in there if you're not trying to like find the answer? You just want to fix the equation in there.
I have to take a look and see what you're saying.
Okay.
Other types of equations, 1.6. Let me take a look. So what are you trying to do?
So for this one, if I was putting this one in there, x squared minus 3x minus 5.
You cannot do the completely square with this.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I'm confused
Yes.
with because like if you do it by hand, right, you get to this, and if I try to do this in a calculator, I don't get 12.
So what did you get?
So like in calculator, I got
So
that.
you multiplied 4 by 180.
Oh, sorry.
So 4 times 180, right? And you added 4. I'm sorry, you added 9. And you take the square root from 729.
So I added.
Okay, ready then? So again, let's review. How many equations we know now how to solve? Always, forever. Yes. Rational, very good. Not easy equations. I hope you agree.
Quadratic.
Linear and quadratic, very good. So now we're adding to this list. So one more time, linear, quadratic, and rational. Equations, done. Which means 1.5 is due on Monday, okay? Not 1.6 because we're not gonna be able to finish it today. Okay, so let's continue. Our next equation is polynomial. Polynomial equation. And you can say this. Wait a minute. What about quadratic? Quadratic is also polynomial. What about linear? It's also polynomial. What do you mean by this? Well, I mean more sophisticated types of equations. Equations with a polynomial that has a higher degree than 2, like 3, 4, and so on and so forth. Page 185, let's illustrate. Let's look at problem 4. Yes? So I have 4x cubed minus 12x squared equals 9x minus 27. Okay,
All right, 1 second.
what type of equation is this? Is it linear? Is it quadratic? Is it rational? Does it have a ratio? Is it linear? No. Look at the title.
Polynomial.
It is a polynomial equation. What is its degree?
That was a trick question.
Just to make sure you're with me. What is the degree? What is the degree of this polynomial? How many solutions do I have to find?
3.
Exactly 3. So please write it on the side so we don't forget. Degree 3, 3 solutions. Degree 3, 3 solutions mandatory. Awesome. Good. What do you think we have to do with this equation? What is the first step? Correct, but not yet. What will I have to do as the first step? Exactly. Who said it?
I don't know if I said it right.
Wait, what? As a simplified.
Absolutely no. You can't simplify. 4x cubed minus 12x squared minus 9x plus 27 equals 0. Of course. We have to move everything to one side. Mandatory. Well done. Okay. So now, what type of polynomial is it? We know 3. What type of polynomial is it? We factored last time, all of them. We only know 3 types. We go back to the strategy. What type of polynomial is it? We know how to factor 3 different types. We have a strategy for the first one, we have a strategy for the second one, and a total different strategy for the third one. It is a polynomial. How do I factor a polynomial? By grouping. Very good. Excellent. That's what we did, So the first two, what do you factor out?
4 x squared
What is left in parentheses?
minus
What do we have to have from the other two?
x minus 3.
Only now I look. Please figure it out. I need a sign and I need a factor.
Factor out 3.
I cannot write 3 because if I write 3 times a...
Minus 3.
-9.
Very good, indeed, -9. What is the common factor that goes out now? Very good. No, the common factor is x minus 3. However, the order is not important. But this is the way we should be thinking. And now in parentheses we have,
4 x squared minus
is x minus 3 factorable?
No.
Is 4x squared minus 9 factorable?
Yes.
Excellent. What type of polynomial is it? Excellent. Awesome. Is it a special product?
No.
Absolutely yes. What type?
So it's
Which one?
squares.
Yes, it is the difference of squares. How will you factor it?
2x minus 3. 2x plus 3.
Awesome. So now I'm expecting from you 3 solutions. The first solution is? Very good. Awesome. Second solution is? Excellent. Well done. And the last solution? Very good.
Where'd you get that from?
Where did you get the last two?
2x plus 3 equals 0. 2x equals -3. X equals -3 halves. This is linear equations, and we've done that. And I hope we are moving forward. Any questions on polynomials? Good. Moving on. Let's say one more example, problem 10 on 185. So 3x to the fourth equals 81x. And I'm on page 8. Ready? What type of equation is it?
Binomials. Wait.
What type? It is a polynomial equation. We haven't moved on to anything else. So now what do I have to do first?
How would you determine that's a polynomial? Because I really
Because it's not linear, it's not quadratic, it's not rational.
Get
And we are only talking about polynomial just yet. Because it has the other degree than 1 or 2.
So if it's any degree other than 1 or 2, it's a polynomial.
I have to see it. It may be a combination. But this one is polynomial. Okay, so, okay, ready? Ladies, ready? Next step. What do we do?
81 on the outside.
Exactly. 3x to the fourth minus 81x equals 0. Awesome. At this point, I know I can simplify by something. And we wrote a note some time ago. Can I divide by x?
Yes.
We wrote that note. Let's write the note again. We never divide an equation by x or quantities with x. Note, never divide both sides by x. Okay, but I can divide by something else to simplify. What will I divide both sides by to simplify? Very good, awesome. By 3 I can, that's not going to affect the answer. So this is x to the fourth minus 27x equals 0. Okay, so what type of polynomial is this? Not equation. We established this is a polynomial equation, but what type of polynomial is it? We know 3 different types, and we know how to factor 3 different types. Which type is this? Awesome, it's a binomial. Is it in descending order?
Yeah.
Greatest common factor.
X.
One more time, greatest common factor. Which is? Which is? Very good, awesome. What is left in parentheses? Very good.
Minus 27.
Very good. Now we continue. Let's look at x cubed minus 27. So, special products. Special products.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask you from the very beginning, forgive me. How many solutions? What is the degree? Say it again.
4.
So degree 4. How many solutions? Exactly. Absolutely. We have to write that down from the very beginning.
Whatever the highest degree is how many.
There is only one degree.
I know, but
The
I'm saying
degree is
there's
4.
another one.
It doesn't matter. The degree of the polynomial is 4. We have to find 4 solutions. Very good. So now how do we address x cubed minus 27? Anyone? Indeed. Awesome. She said the difference of cubes. Very good. Which means I have to come up with a
binomial and a trinomial.
excellent. Great job. A binomial and trinomial. Can anyone identify the sequence of signs first? If this is minus, what do I have here?
Plus.
Never.
Oh.
It follows.
Oh,
It's
minus.
either minus, minus, plus, or plus, plus, minus. Very good. Awesome. So now, can anyone identify the binomial for us? Yes, of course. Excellent. And? Very good. Awesome. Excellent. And now, I want you to square this and put it here.
X squared.
I want the product and put it here.
6x. Wait.
We are not multiplying by 2. Do not confuse the formula with the other one from trinomials.
It's 3.
Very good. And plus? Very good. Awesome. Thank you. Great job.
Is that from lingo we learned?
Exactly, from factoring. Yes. Yes. So please give me the first 2 solutions. I didn't get there yet.
X equals 0.
Indeed. The second one, x equals? We have to move -3 to the other side. Very good. Because you understand only 3 minus 3 will be 0. -3 minus 3 will not be 0.
Right.
Perfect. So the other 2 solutions come from x squared plus 3x plus 9 equals 0. What do we do with this? And no, we cannot factor. Yes, indeed. The quadratic formula. -3 plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2a. Negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac.
You can put that in the calculator.
Nope, because it gives you imaginary solutions this time. Don't even try it.
How would we know it would do that?
9 minus 36 is a negative number. It will give you an error. So x equals -3 plus or minus the square root of -27 divided by 2. And now let's talk a little bit about the square root of -27.
I know.
So you use I, right?
I don't
Yes.
like it.
Okay, so here's the situation with the square root of a negative number. So this is not real. It's not a real number. And we will have to split it into the square root of -1 and the square root of 27. And yes, perfectly correct. I already got, Mana said that this is I, the imaginary unit. You will encounter this, right, in the homework. So please remember. And now 27 will be split as 9 times 3. Why? Because 9 is a perfect square and 3 is not. So the square root of -27 will be the square root of 9, which is 3, I, the square root of 3. And now we have indeed how many solutions?
4.
Indeed. Here they are, 0, 3, and the other 2 are x equals -3 plus or minus 3i, the square root of 3 over 2. These are 2 solutions. This is one, and this is another. Yes, please. Read, go ahead.
I need to go back on one second though.
Yes?
Now, when we found the I forgot what it's called, but you got when it's x minus 3 and put the 2 parentheses. When it's x minus 3, then it's x cubed plus 3x
This one?
plus 9. Yes, right there. Why do we just put x plus 3 equals 0? Why do we put 3x plus 9? Is that because we did the second part?
You're talking about this part?
Yes.
That's the formula. It's a difference of cubes if you go back to the factoring formulas, to the strategy. The difference of cubes factors into a binomial or trinomial. Just review what we did last time. Always redo the problems you do in class. At least twice or 3 times. Because you will forget. Okay. Moving on. Next type of equation is radical. Radical equation. So let's start with number 12. Yes, on the same page, 185. And this is the square root of 20 minus 8x equals x. This is a radical equation because it has a radical in it. The method we have to apply here is, anyone remembers what we need to do here? We have to remove the square root by squaring both sides. Excellent. Well done. What is the left-hand side now?
20 minus 8x.
Awesome. What is the right-hand side now? Excellent. Now I'm going to ask, of course, again, what type of equation is this? So, okay, let's not confuse 2 things. When I ask what type of equation, you have to say linear, quadratic, polynomial, rational, radical. When I ask what type of polynomial that is, you only have 3 options. Binomial, trinomial, polynomial. So what type of equation is it?
Radical. Well, it's no longer radical, actually.
It was initially, you're right. Initially it was radical, but what is it now?
Quadratic.
Excellent.
We just need to get
Excellent.
the square on the other side.
Excellent. So then I have x squared plus 8x, because it's a quadratic polynomial. The degree, this is what we just did, quadratic equations, right? So I move everything to one side and I set it equal to 0. We have 4 methods. I will not take the square root because it's not ready for that. I will not complete the square because it will take forever. I will try to factor. If it doesn't factor quickly, if I can factor quickly, then I will use the quadratic formula. Can we factor quickly?
No.
We can factor very quickly. Into
X. Plus.
excellent. So if it takes less than 30 seconds, please factor. If it takes longer, please use the quadratic formula. So there appear to be 2 options, and they are awesome, awesome. But here's my point, and here's a big note. Very important. Anyone remembers what I'm trying to say? It's okay if you say no. Okay, no, that's fine. But I'm going to write it anyway, even if you had said yes. We must check solutions when, of course, back at the original problem, when we square or cube or so on and so forth both sides. Always. It's a must. It's part of the problem, part of the solution. You cannot move on to the next problem before you do that. I will copy the original problem. This is the original problem. I will replace x all the way first by -10. How much is -8 times -10?
80.
One more time. How much is -8 times -10? 80 plus 20 times, yeah, 100. How much is the square root of 100? The right-hand side is -10. Would you accept -10 as the solution?
No.
Absolutely not. I am checking 2. Negative 8 times 2. 20 minus 16. The square root of 4. The left-hand side is 2, the right-hand side is 2. Would you accept x equals 2 as the solution?
Wait, can you go through that process again, when you use two to solve, when you plug in two?
Negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. 20 minus 16 is 4. The square root of 4 is 2. And the right-hand side is 2. Negative 8 times negative 10 is positive 80. 80 plus 20 is 100. The square root of 100 is 10. But the right-hand side is negative 10, and this is false. Therefore, we have to go back and say no way. This solution is called extraneous solution.
What's it called?
Extraneous solution. Something that is a byproduct, but it doesn't work in the original problem. That's the reason why we have to go back and check. Every time, yes, don't forget your question. Every time we square both sides or cube both sides, although with a cube and the odd powers is different. But every time we raise both sides to a power, we must check the solutions back in the original problem, please.
So if we, like, when we complete this problem and we see that in the first example it was not true, but in the second example it was true.
Correct. You could have said that from the beginning because the square root is always a positive number. It could never be negative. I'm fine with that too.
So if we just prove the what we're trying to say.
As long as you say negative 10 cannot work. The square root is always positive. Yes, please. Please go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm taking your things just a little bit. When we factored and got x plus 10 and x minus 2. I
Yes.
see that we're getting the negative 20. Well, how come we aren't trying to find the 8 instead of the negative 20?
So we are looking for two numbers whose product is negative 20 and whose sum is 8. And the numbers are 10 and negative 2. That's okay. So 10 minus 2 is 8. 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. And that's how we found these. That's okay. Okay. One more. Let's say 16. The square root of 6x plus 1 equals x minus 1. Okay, question. Now we know linear, quadratic, polynomial, rational, and radical. What type of equation is this? Of course. How do I proceed?
Square both sides.
Very good, awesome. Careful, not term by term. I square the left-hand side and I square the right-hand side. The entire left-hand side at once, the entire right-hand side at once. Okay,
6x plus 1.
very good.
X squared minus x squared minus 1. Or x minus 1 squared.
We have an agreement from the first day of classes, which was the 23rd. So I expect that we keep our agreement. We signed an agreement and we know how many terms we have to write. You are all packed already, I see. X minus 1 squared. How many terms?
3.
We signed an agreement on January the 23rd. Good, I'm ready. That's what I said. I wanted to do it at the very beginning so we don't have to discuss it again, so we know it and not go back over and over and over. It will pop up almost every class. So I'm ready when you are.
Plus 1.
I forgot that.
Oh, wait.
That's why the notebook will save you all the time with reviewing before you come to class, reviewing the major topics. So we got stuck on the material that we studied on the first day of classes.
Yeah, that was the first day.
So we are going back to Adam and Eve.
Jesus Christ. Oh, boy.
It's our first agreement that we studied. The first day of class is the first handout.
I know it's -2 something.
Yeah.
Minus 2a and minus 2x.
So what do I write?
Minus 2x. That'll be plus.
Very good. Awesome. First term squared minus 2 times the first times the second plus the second term squared. We need to review this before coming to class every time because then we're going to go back in time instead of moving forward. I have to stop because I have 6:15. I see you're already packed. So I will finish this on Monday. Yes. It's on the you have it on your yes, it's right here. So it's this. First term squared